Hello everybody and welcome back to Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Start of a brand new week, of course, and plenty more content to come this week from me. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on our first pre-season game over the weekend on Saturday afternoon, which ended in a 3-1 defeat against Emley, a local non-league side around here. Before we do get into this though, please do drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are only 30 subscribers away from that 1,000 target now, which is crazy. Please, you can help me out. If you are new around these ways, do make sure you hit that subscription button. It does make me feel happy and really appreciate all your support. And yeah, if you want to make my dream come true, and do comment, then do subscribe. Gosh, not with it today, guys, so and you can probably tell from my voice, to be honest, we're not going to get into that today. I just want to keep doing content and, and that's it. Just keep myself busy at the moment. And yeah, so I'm not going to say anything about that, but you might recognise I'm feeling a bit, I've got a bit of a downbeat voice in this video, but I just want to keep putting that content out there and keep myself busy, so yeah. Also, comment your thoughts on this result as well that happened over the weekend, so yes. But look, let's get into it then. So 3 different starting lineups for us, which was changed every 30 minutes. We did see a few of the new lads in action, but not all of them. The Harness, Feeney, Rowan, Ledson all took part. Joe Lowe, Murray Wallace weren't involved in this game as they worked their way back from injury. Indeed, so the first 30 minutes, saw Lee Nichols starting goal. It did look like a back 4, guys. So it looked like back 4, and it looked like a formation of 4-2-3-1. That's what I recognised. I was like Nichols, Sorensen, Feeney, Solomon, Eccleston got some minutes. Evans, Kasumu, Harness, Ben Wild was captain, Ruskin, Dion Charles. Obviously, the goal that we scored, it was a bit of a quiet opening 30, to be fair, apart from the goal that we scored. That's, you know what I mean? And for me, obviously, we obviously were creating chances, but just weren't taking them. But the best chance, obviously, was the goal that we scored. Obviously, Ruskin dancing inside the penalty area, played the ball across the 6-yard box, and Feeney was there to tap home for his first goal of pre-season, so he couldn't really miss. He was put on a plate for him. But yes, good work by Ruskin again, always involved in our attacks. To be honest with you, so yeah, obviously Feeney, 28 minutes on the clock, got his goal. Then obviously the second 30 minutes started, and we had obviously a brand new 11. So Jacob Chapman got some minutes. Brody Spencer, Ian Togo, Sean Rowan, Jay Sway, Ryan Ledson, who was captain, Herbie Kane, Cameron Aisha, Freddie Ladapo, Mikael Miller, and Joe Taylor. So that was the second starting 11. Obviously, a few chances were created in this period, but just lacking that clinical edge. That's what I took from that kind of section. And yeah, there was not really much else to say about that kind of section. It wasn't great. You know, we were creating a few chances, you know what I mean, but just weren't being clinical with them. And yeah, so it remained 1-0 going into the final 30 minutes of the match, where Michael Tong then took control of the final 30 minutes, who is obviously the coach for the youngsters. And yeah, obviously as you can probably tell, we fielded a full 11 of youngsters basically. Aisha got some more minutes. Peter Thomas we saw in the first team. I think we saw him in the EFL Trophy last season, didn't we? Or whatever it's called, you know what I mean, guys. The EFL Trophy. I call it the EFL Trophy. Can't remember what I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah. So yeah, obviously a few players. Francis Hurl will be on the bench now and then as a goalkeeper, but Dan Vost, obviously watched a little bit of him, but I don't really know many of the others that was named in this 11. So they did hit the woodwork in this period. It's a good move between Aisha and Solomon, playing some tidy football on the edge of the box. Solomon rolled the ball back to Aisha, who obviously hit the post. That was the only chance we created. And obviously Emley, to be fair, got the equaliser 20 minutes to go. Fantastic strike from Clegg. He did find some area on the edge of the area though. I don't know why there was so much space. He was allowed to line up his shot, and he stuck the ball into the top right hand corner. It was a good finish. Not long after that, Clegg then doubled his total for the afternoon, lurking at the back post. So the ball found his way to him, and then he, like I say, was always going to score from there. Poor defending once again. Then Emley scored their third goal in the final stages. Nazondo burst through the town defence, keeping possession of the ball, and he hit it low into the back of the net. And obviously then it finished 3-1 to them. So obviously thoughts. Look, I think I'm absolutely going to take the result for exactly what it is, and say that whilst I know it is obviously mostly about fitness in these opening couple of games, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses and say about why we didn't win this game. We absolutely should be winning this game. There's no excuses for it against this level of opposition. With the greatest respects, against a team who is much further down the football pyramid ladder and who are a part-time side. Let's not beat around the bush. And I don't care if it's a pre-season game, by the way, or not. I'm not here for excuses and never have been on this channel. I've always stayed open and transparent about what I think, and I'm not going to change. I thought it was disappointing in the end. I thought we did create one or two, couple of nice moves throughout the game, but it was that lack of clinical edge, and sharpness, which is the first game, so I get that, but I don't really think we can find excuses for it, because there were very, very good chances, and I'm not going to sit here and defend what we saw in that match for large parts of it. Of course, the people that weren't happy with losing to Emley are told to shut up, moan and get a grip. It's only the first game. All these excuses always come out from that section, this fan base, who don't like to admit or like to take the game at face value. No matter who we play, competitively or not, when we lose, it's always the same old excuses that these people give. And no wonder the standards are so low at this football club. I think for me, look at the prime example last season, guys, with the FA Cup against Tamworth. The same excuses that were given by the so-called happy to accept mediocre lot of this fan base that just drag the standards down to nothing. And yes, say, telling us to focus on the league and everything, and it's all fine that, it's on the cup, blah, blah, blah. Fine. If that's what you want to think, fine. But I'm sorry. Pre-season, FA Cup, whatever it is, we should not be losing to a non-league side in all due respects. And that's what it is. So people want to deny the facts, but I'm not here to deny the facts. I'm here to just say it straight as it is. And that's what I've always done. And like I said, while some of us were saying it's not acceptable to lose to a team, we were just sent the usual insults on social media that we get just for wanting high standards. That's all it is. So I'm sorry I didn't have to get that rant out of the way, because I'm just sick of it, sick and tired of the amount of excuses that are given every time we lose a football game. Just take it on the chin, say for what it was, and move on. Don't make excuses for not being able to beat a team on Saturday in Emley. I don't care if it's the first game. We should have beaten this team, and that's it. Below, obviously, the goal we scored was from the debutant Josh Feeney, who was obviously joined us on loan from Aston Villa for the season. Certainly was a positive, but like I say, apart from that, it was all the same old story, you know, creating chances but not putting them away. And by the time the youngsters came in the final 30 minutes, the game should have been out of sight rather than just be 1-0 up still. It was obviously, you know, it was obviously good to see the other new lads get minutes too, but they didn't contribute anything in this match. And again, it just highlights that, yes, we are missing some of the new lads that have come through the door, like Lowe and Wallace. Don't really anticipate Wallace being a starter next season personally, but could be wrong, but I don't think so. Lowe is probably the only one that missed out. And obviously, they were obviously to change sides every 30 minutes, so, but I think just highlights that we obviously need more players coming through. I think for me, it highlights once again how poor the level of players coming through our academy are. When you see that final 30 minutes, how we played and conceded those 3 goals. And is it really any wonder, guys, none of these players, or not many players through our academy, have ever broken through into the first team? You know, yes, we've had a few, but we haven't had any. We don't have regular players coming through that are going to contribute, and that's what you need in the academy. You need, you know, 1 or 2 to keep filtering through into the first team, because that's what you need to keep moving. But look, they're clearly nowhere near the level required, and that's a big problem. I've said it many times before on this channel. You know, it's been an issue for ages, and of course Nagley's putting money in the academy. He said that first thing he said when he came through the door was about the academy, how he wants to improve that, improve our academy and produce more players. And we need it. We need that funding for sure. You know, obviously our category status has changed next season, so we'll be playing against better opposition basically in our academy. So yeah. So yes, I think that's all I'm going to say about the game, guys. To be honest with you, I've been nearly at 12.5 minutes now. So yeah, defeating our opening game against Emley, and we don't have a game now until the behind closed doors friendly against Barrow a week tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you do drop a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts down below on this result of the weekend. But yes, there'll be another video out later on today, as I'll be sharing my first impressions to our new home kit, which was obviously released on Friday. Well, it was unveiled on Friday. It's going to be released in mid-July. And the lads played in it on Saturday as well. So I'm going to be giving my thoughts on that later on. But yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. And yeah, see you all very soon.